There comes a point in a man's life where silence becomes more valuable than noise, where peace becomes more seductive than passion, and where freedom, real freedom, outweighs the idea of companionship. If you're a man over 60, this stage of life is not about proving anything anymore. Not to society, not to family, not to women. It's about protecting what you've earned. And today, I want to speak honestly, without sugarcoating, without guilt, and without apology, about 5 reasons senior men over 60 should seriously reconsider having a girlfriend. This isn't about bitterness. This isn't about hating women. This is about clarity. Because wisdom doesn't come from age alone. It comes from reflection. Reason 1, your peace is no longer negotiable. At 60 and beyond, peace is not a luxury. It's a necessity. You've lived long enough to know how fragile peace is, and how quickly it disappears once someone enters your emotional space. A girlfriend, no matter how kind, brings expectations, conversation, emotional labor, needs, moods. And even the best relationships require compromise. But here's the truth. No one wants to say out loud, at this age, compromise often feels like loss, not partnership. You've already raised children, navigated careers, survived heartbreaks, and carried responsibilities for decades. You've spent most of your life being needed. Now, you deserve to simply be, to wake up without emotional obligations, to spend your days exactly how you choose, to sit in silence without having to explain yourself. Peace becomes sacred when you realize how rare it is, and once you have it, inviting someone in who might disturb it becomes a risk, not a reward. Reason 2, emotional energy is finite. When you're young, emotional energy feels endless. You bounce back quickly. You adapt. You tolerate drama because you believe time is unlimited. But at 60 plus, you know better. Every emotional interaction costs something. Every argument takes longer to recover from. Every disappointment hits deeper. Relationships demand presence, listening, reassurance, validation. And while love can be beautiful, it can also be exhausting. Ask yourself this honestly. Do you still want to manage emotional dynamics? Or do you want to preserve your strength? At this stage, your energy should be invested in your health, your peace of mind, your routines, your personal interests, not in decoding feelings, fixing misunderstandings, or carrying emotional weight that no longer serves you. Choosing not to have a girlfriend isn't loneliness. Sometimes it's self-preservation. What? Reason 3, financial vulnerability increases with age. This is uncomfortable, but necessary truth. As men age, financial risk becomes more dangerous, not less. Retirement savings, fixed income, medical expenses, estate planning. You've worked too hard to be careless now. A girlfriend introduces financial exposure, whether intentional or not, shared expenses, subtle expectations, lifestyle inflation, and in some cases manipulation disguised as affection. Not every woman has bad intentions, but intentions don't matter as much as outcomes. At this stage of life, financial security equals freedom, and freedom is fragile. One emotional decision can undo decades of discipline. Choosing independence allows you to spend without explanation, plan your legacy clearly, avoid financial entanglements. Money doesn't buy happiness, but losing control over it destroys peace. And peace, again, is the currency that matters now. Reason 4, you are no longer meant to build, you are meant to enjoy. Youth is about building. Older age is about harvesting. You've already built the life you were meant to build. At this stage, relationships often come with the pressure to rebuild. Adjust your routines. Redefine priorities. Create space for someone else's future. But your future is no longer about expansion. It's about enjoyment. Traveling when you want. Resting when you need. Pursuing hobbies without negotiation. A girlfriend, especially one still in building mode, can unintentionally pull you back into a phase you've already completed. You are not unfinished. You are not lacking. You are not incomplete. You are allowed to enjoy your life exactly as it is, without adding complexity. Solitude at this stage is not emptiness. It's fulfillment without pressure. Wowza 5. Companionship does not require romance. This may be the most important point of all. Human connection is essential, but romance is not the only path to it. You can have deep friendships, family bonds, community, social activities, without emotional dependency. Romantic relationships often blur boundaries, especially later in life. What starts as companionship can quickly become obligation. But companionship without romance allows you to maintain autonomy, avoid emotional entanglement, keep your identity intact. Love doesn't have to mean sacrifice anymore. You've already sacrificed enough. At this age, the highest form of self-respect is choosing relationships that add peace, not demand it. Final thought. Choosing not to have a girlfriend after 60 is not failure. It's not fear. It's not giving up. For many men, it's the most honest decision they've ever made. It's choosing clarity over chaos, freedom over expectation, peace over performance, and that choice deserves respect. Gentle closing and call to action. If this message resonated with you, if it gave words to thoughts you've carried quietly for a long time, then you're not alone. This channel is a space for honest conversations about life, wisdom, independence, and clarity as we grow older. If you'd like to continue these conversations with me, I invite you to subscribe, not out of obligation, but because this kind of honesty is rare, and we'll be exploring much more of it together. Thank you for your time, and more importantly, thank you for honoring your peace.